Hello there. Just thought maybe I'd run through some sort of recent finds, some kind of cool things that I found used record stores and flea markets over the past month or 2 months or so. First one, Big Audio Dynamite, Tighten Up 88. This is Mick Jones' post-Clash band. It's kind of a neat copy of it. It's a UK promo, and it came with a little biography and a copy of an article and an 8x10 glossy of the band. So a neat little promo kit there for that. Madness, One Step Beyond. Fun album. In Excess, Underneath the Colors. I think this is their second album. It's a promo copy. Actually, it's a radio station promo copy because there's suggested cuts for play on there. Most of these were $1. There's a couple in here that are $2, and I think there's one that's $3. But Ultravox, their first album. This is the John Foxx version of Ultravox, not the Midge Ure version of Ultravox. It's called Ha Ha Ha. Golden Palominos. If you know Golden Palominos or not, but it's Anton Fier, drummer Anton Fier. It's his band. Lots of pretty interesting musicians on here. Bill Laswell, Richard Thompson, Bernie Worrell, Sid Straw, Michael Stipe, John Lydon. There's a song on here with Johnny Rotten. Arto Lindsay, Carla Bley on a couple songs. Richard Thompson on many of them. Jack Bruce. I haven't heard this one yet, but I really like the Golden Palominos. Sparks, Angst in My Pants. I don't know if you know Sparks at all. If you do, then you know the joy that is Sparks. Basically brothers Russell and Ron Mayo. These guys are just so much fun. Quirky, just not like any other pop music you've ever heard, and yet great pop music as far as I'm concerned. Russell Mayo is the vocalist, and he's got a bit of a falsetto at times, a lot of times, so that kind of turns people off sometimes to the band, but I just think they're great. I love Sparks. I'd pick up anything. And you know, not only that, but they're actually recorded really well. So good stuff to be playing on a good system. Another Sparks album, Sparks in Outer Space. I think that one came out after Angst in My Pants. Moev. I picked this one up. I hadn't heard of the band, and I certainly didn't know any of their music. Picked this one up. It was in the dollar bin. It was sealed. I thought, well, it's got kind of a cool cover. I'll give this a try. Turns out it's basically it's recorded in, I think, '89, and so this is sort of at the beginning of the industrial music movement. But Moev, good record. I actually ended up liking this so much that after I listened to it about a half a dozen times, over and over, one side then the other side, one side then the other side, I ordered a CD copy so that I could play it in the car. Shriekback. This is the Barry Andrews, former member of XTC. This is his band. I had another album of theirs called Oil and Gold, which I absolutely adore. And so I saw this and I couldn't pass it up. Definitely a cool cover, art-wise. And this is the album that came out right before Oil and Gold, so I'm kind of pleased to find that. Again, that was $1. XTC's English Settlement, I have to admit that I already have 2 copies at least of this album on vinyl. I love XTC. They're probably, if not my favorite pop band, they are among my top 5 favorite pop bands. But what was cool about this is a Canadian pressing, and what's cool about this is that my other versions of this are only a single disc, a single album. And this is a double, and it's got a lot of tunes on here that I can't say I didn't know, because when they reissued this on CD, they came out with a version on CD, and they had a lot of the tracks that are on this all together. But the single disc version certainly doesn't contain all those songs, so it was kind of cool to find a double disc version of this XTC album. Definitely one of their best albums as far as I'm concerned. Brian Setzer, A Knife Feels Like Justice. Big Brian Setzer fan. I've loved him ever since the Stray Cats. I don't know how people sort of feel about that, what their take is on Brian Setzer, but he's great. This is sealed, so sealed copy for $1. Crystal Silence by Gary Burton and Chick Corea. Essentially, it's a Chick Corea album with Gary Burton on Vibes. I really like piano, and I also really like Vibes, and so you put them together on one album, it's kind of a no-brainer for me. It's on ECM, so great label for kind of crystalline jazz. First album from the Penguin Cafe Orchestra, also $1. Really kind of thrilled about these next two. Tangerine Dreams, Force Majeure. And Tangerine Dreams, Tangram. Big Tangerine Dream fan. I know a lot of people tend to think of them as kind of new agey sometimes. They make their music with synths and moogs and things like that, but there is so much going on there. It's kind of amazing. I feel sorry for people who feel that Tangerine Dream is just new age or elevator music or whatever, because there's so much going on, so much more going on there. This one's kind of beat. It's Black Sabbath's Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. At least as far as the cover goes, it's kind of beat. I don't know if you can actually see that in this light or not, but it looks like it's got a fair amount of water damage, so the cover is just really kind of roached. But the vinyl inside looks like it's in pretty decent shape, so I'm going to try and clean this puppy up, both outside and in, and see if I've got myself... I didn't have this one, so see if I've got myself a Black Sabbath album. Supertramp's Indelibly Stamped. Kind of a neat album cover there. Ron Wood and Ronnie Lane, both those guys from The Faces. This is a soundtrack apparently for a movie called Mahoney's Last Stand. I'd never heard of the movie and I'd never heard of this soundtrack. But I really like Ron Wood and I really like Ronnie Lane, and I like them together and I like them individually. Lots of people on here. Kenny Jones, Pete Townsend, Ian McLagan. It's almost like a Faces reunion album. Rich Gretsch. It's also produced by Glyn Johns, who Glyn Johns also is responsible for producing a lot of the Faces albums and a lot of Stones albums and that sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. Again, just $1. Ike and Tina Turner working together. I was really kind of thrilled to find this one. I really like Ike and Tina Turner. I like Tina Turner, but I like Ike and Tina Turner. That sort of, classic kind of R&B stuff. This has got their version of Proud Mary on it, that's worth it right there. There's also a song on here called Funkier Than a Mosquito's Tweeter, so I'm looking forward to hearing that. They cover a couple Beatles songs too. They cover Let It Be and Get Back. So yeah, definitely looking forward to hearing that. Another sort of R&B record, an old Stevie Wonder record. It's on Motown, not Tamla, and so I'm thinking that it might be an early pressing. It's certainly, I don't think it's an original pressing, but it's certainly an early record. It's not any kind of recent reissue or anything like that. So Stevie Wonder's Down to Earth. And last but not least, Sun City, Artists Against Apartheid. This is the project that little Steve Van Zandt of Springsteen's band put together. And I had this record at one point and then I sold it, which was stupid because it's just loaded with great artists. Africa Bambaataa, Stiv Bader, Pat Benatar, Big Youth, Ruben Blades, Curtis Blow, Bono, Jackson Browne, Ron Carter, Clarence Clemens, Jimmy Cliff, George Clinton, Miles Davis, Bob Dylan, Peter Gabriel, Bob Geldof, Daryl Hall, Herbie Hancock, Nona Hendrix, Linton Kwesi Johnson, Stanley Jordan, Eddie Kendrick, Little Steven, Darlene Love, Grandmaster Mel Mel, John Oates, Bonnie Raitt, Joey Ramone, Lou Reed, David Ruffin, Run DMC, Gil Scott-Heron, Shankar, Bruce Springsteen, Zach Starkey, Ringo Starr, Pete Townsend, Peter Wolf, and Bobby Womack. Just loaded with talent. I don't know why I ever get rid of that thing, but I have it back now. So anyway, that was just a run through of some recent used vinyl that I've picked up, and feel free to leave comments and or subscribe. Appreciate all the comments on other videos so far, and definitely all the subscribers, and I'll catch you later.